Alright everyone, welcome to the second class of this course, and in this second class we are going to look at some basic concepts of graphic designing. I kept this stuff for the second class so we can perform something practical in our first class. Now let's open this theory folder in our graphic design course and look at some basic concepts. The first one is vector and raster images. Let's look at these two images on my screen. The right one is raster and the left one is vector. Raster images made up of pixels and vector images are made up of shapes. Now in our Photoshop, all the images we create are raster images. In Adobe Illustrator, the second software that we commonly use in graphic designing, we can export our vector files. All the images we capture from our mobile phone, we take any screenshot of a video, we create any poster in Adobe Photoshop, we download anything from social media, all those images are raster images. They are made up of pixels, there is a certain height and width of that image. If you zoom in that image, you can find pixels. But if you use Adobe Illustrator, you can create some vector images like original logo designs or animation. If you try to zoom in, you will not find pixels in those images. Open the last project we have created in the class 1 and let's try to zoom in. As you can see, now we have pixels in our screen. Each pixels contain a single color. This pixel right here is dark black, this one is grey, light grey, more light grey, and here we have our white pixels. All these pixels creates our image. Everywhere we zoom in our Adobe Photoshop, we can find pixels like this here. If we create a original logo, original design in Adobe Illustrator, we can create vector images. That's it for the concept of vector and raster images. You should have the concept that all the images we are creating in Adobe Photoshop are called raster images, and if someone asks you what are raster and what are vector images, you should be able to give a short answer. Now let's look at our second concept, that is CMYK and RGB color. All the colors on your screen are made up of three essential components: red, green and blue color. If you combine these colors in different proportions, you will get different results. But on paper, on your printer, when you print any design, the color combination is different. On your paper, the colors are made up of generally CMYK, yellow, magenta, cyan and black. That made us your print design. So if you are creating something for print, you should create it in CMYK format. So in your Photoshop, when you create, click on new. Right here you have color mode. If you select RGB color, that means that design is designed for your screen, for social media, for YouTube, or any other platform. If you create your design in CMYK, that means your design is to create a design for printing. So if you are creating a Panaflex, a signboard, you should select CMYK and then create your design. Another important stuff is your colors represent the feelings. This image right here, it's in your graphic design resources folder. You can watch what are the general feelings that our mind associate with certain color. So generally in your restaurant or any food court, you see yellow and red color, because yellow and red colors gives you feeling of increases the hunger in your stomach. If you are creating something related to tech, something related to technology, you generally use blue and white color. Let's say you are creating a poster for renewable energy and you are creating a poster for a client on a social media. If you use red color theme, it will not match the feeling of your message. You should use green, yellow and white color in that poster. So these are some feelings associated with colors. You can study about them online, and before you start designing, you should understand the feelings of colors. Let's look at something else. Font matters. We have an image right here on our screen and it is split in two halves. The top half and the bottom half are exactly the same. The paper is same, color is same, background color is same, everything is same. The only difference here is the font. And as you can see, just by changing the font, we can totally change the feeling of our message. The first one looks romantic, lovely, and bottom one looks horrifying. The top one conveys the message, you will always be the mine. Someone is saying that in love. The second one is sending a message that you will always be the mine. I will take you and I will try to harm you. So this is how fonts matter. If you change the style of your text, that matters. So if you are creating something for kids, a book for kids, your font choice should appeal kids. If you are creating a research paper, something very serious, your font should represent that. You can use Times New Roman for a serious design. You can use impact font for your energetic and thumbnail design. You can explore different fonts on internet and try to use fonts accordingly with your design. As you can see, there are two designs on my screen, the left one and the right one. Right one is the example of bad design. Why it is bad? As you can see, it looks like a very cluttered design. Everything right here on the screen, there is no space and there is no symmetry between the design. A viewer will find difficult to read this design. On the left part of your screen, you have very clear website design. Why it is clear? The first thing, it is clean. There is a space between objects, and the second one is the symmetry. Everything is aligned in symmetry. So alignment and symmetry is very important part of your design. In the first project, I have aligned everything in center and I have created a symmetry between color. Everything was yellow and black in color. We have some examples of good and bad designs here, and you can explore and read this stuff in your resources folder. And in the next class, we are going to perform another task in Adobe Photoshop. So I will see you in the next class.